Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing out and reviewing the new Tarte Clay Stick Foundation. This foundation retails for $39 US and it can be found in 12 different shades. I grabbed the shade Medium Neutral to try out today. It comes in a 0.32 ounce tube, which is not a whole lot of foundation in my opinion. Usually liquid foundations come in a 1 ounce bottle, but I find that stick foundations don't come anywhere near that. They're usually about half, if not less, like this one. So you don't get a whole lot of product for the price tag in my opinion, but we'll see how it wears. Maybe it's worth it. Who knows? The product description for this foundation straight from the website states that it is a buildable powder to liquid formula that melts into your skin for medium to full coverage. It leaves a natural finish that's supposed to look and feel just like your own skin. Micro-encapsulated powders then burst with your body heat to keep you shine and cake free. So as far as my skin goes, I'm like normal oily. I tend to get a bit oily here along the T-zone, but everywhere else I'm pretty normal. So we'll see how this performs along the T-zone since it does state to keep you shine free. This vegan formula features antioxidant vitamins C, E, and Amazonian clay, a total skin balancing powerhouse that hydrates or mattifies depending on your skin type. So it sounds like if you have oily skin, it's supposed to help mattify it, and if you have dry skin, it's supposed to help moisturize to give you like a really nice in-between balance. The guilt-free blend also means there are no harsh chemicals like talc, gluten, sulfates, or parabens in your buildable creamy coverage. Use on the go as a spot concealer or in lighter or darker shades to highlight and contour. As far as how to, it does state that for medium coverage, you should apply this with their Smoothie Blender foundation brush, which I did not purchase. From what I've seen on Instagram and what I saw on the website, it is just a really dense angled brush that looks pretty soft along the top bristles. For fuller coverage, apply with a blending sponge. So I'm assuming that they mean like a beauty blender, which is what I'm going to use because I am going to test this out for full coverage. Twist up foundation and swipe directly onto skin, concentrating coverage at the center of the face to cover redness, uneven skin tone, hyperpigmentation, pores, and other imperfections. So you want to start it here and I guess build it out. Blend outward toward the jaw and hairline using a foundation brush or blending sponge. So now that we've gotten the basic information and the how-to on this product, we're going to go ahead and get started. All I'm going to do is just simply jump off camera really quickly in order to color correct my dark circles, and then I will come right back in order to add foundation onto the face. Okay, so now I am back with color corrector on, and before I get started in applying the foundation, I'm going to zoom you all in just so that you can get a better look at my skin up close before I apply anything, and that way once I apply the foundation you can see what kind of coverage I actually do get. Okay, so as you can see, there's not a whole lot going on in my skin aside from these little veins that I'm always talking about whenever I give you guys close-ups, and this little spot here. I also have a little bit of redness here along the sides of my nose. And I have a similar situation on the right cheek as I do the left cheek. Okay, so now that you've taken a look at my skin up close, it's time to apply this foundation. I'm going to start at the center of the face like it suggests and then work my way out. This is the amount of product that you get, which isn't a lot. I think they could have definitely fit more in here, but I could be wrong. Okay, so I'm going to start at the center and then work my way out. So start at the nose, I suppose. There isn't any kind of scent on this foundation, in case you're wondering. And I thought that this might be a good match for my skin tone, but I have been getting quite a bit of sun on me lately, so maybe not so much of a good match now. Okay, so start by blending in the center and then working my way out toward my jawline and my hairline. Okay, so that's just with the one layer of foundation, and I was actually able to get decent amount of coverage, medium coverage. I definitely would call this medium coverage. So now I'm going to try to build up here in order to get full coverage along the cheeks. Okay, so I am getting pretty good coverage with this foundation, although I must say that it does feel creamy right now, so I'm still waiting for that powder transformation, if you will. I am getting good coverage along the cheek area, and yeah, overall I like the way that it feels. It does feel light. It doesn't feel too heavy on the skin whatsoever. I'm assuming it's gonna feel lighter once it transforms into a powder, but right now it's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna zoom you all in so that you can get a better look up close after applying the foundation onto the skin. Okay, so as you can see, that spot's not completely gone, but I am getting good coverage out of it, out of the foundation. The veins along the cheek area, I mean, I think I can see maybe one right here, but nothing like it was before. The redness on the sides of my nose is pretty much gone at this point, but I don't expect that to last the entire day, just because it never does with anything. And this is what the foundation looks like on my right cheek. Okay, so now that you've gotten a good up-close look at my skin after the foundation application, I'm simply going to jump off camera for a second to finish off the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. Okay, so now I am back with a full face of makeup. The foundation finally transformed from a cream to a powder, and I'm saying this because I no longer feel it like creamy on the face. It now feels weightless like it's supposed to feel. So yeah, there is that. Aside from that, I did want to add that I did not apply any kind of primer or anything like that onto the skin. I usually don't when I am testing out foundations. So the only thing that I have underneath is a moisturizer. That is it. So we'll see how it wears with just the moisturizer for the day. It is currently 12:48 p.m. So I will try to come back at around 3:30, 4 o'clock in order to do a quick little midday check-in. So I will see you all back here really soon. Okay, so now I am back for a midday check-in. It is currently 3:28. So I've had this foundation on for about a good almost 3 hours, I'd say. It's wearing fine, but the only thing that I did notice that I'm not liking a whole lot is that it's really like emphasizing my laugh lines here. Aside from that, the foundation coverage is still looking really, really good. It hasn't been affected in any way by anything. It still looks to be in place. The forehead, though, I can say that it is already looking a little bit glossy, but that's about it. So now I'm going to zoom you all in so that you can get a better look up close after, almost 3 hours of wear. Okay, so as you can see, the coverage on this side has not changed, in my opinion. And it hasn't really changed on this side either. The only thing I can say, here and here, I feel like it's really emphasizing my lines. And that's pretty much all that I have for my midday check-in. I am planning on finishing off my night at around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I will see you all back here at the end of the night. Okay, so now I am back for a final check-in. It is currently 8:09 p.m. So I've had this foundation on for a good 7.5 hours, almost something along those lines, almost a full 8 hours. Now, before I get into my overall thoughts and opinion on this foundation, I'm going to zoom you all in so that you can get a better look at my skin with the foundation after almost 8 hours of wear. Okay, so on this side, as you can see, it's kind of worn off a little bit there because I can definitely see my little veins through there on that side. Along the nose area, I'm surprised that it didn't really wear off there. Not so much on this side, a little bit more on this side. And I feel like I had a similar situation on the right side of my face with the foundation wearing off a tad here along the bottom. One thing that I will mention is that the creasing continued along my laugh line, as you can see there. So I have creasing here with the foundation and a little bit of creasing here. Okay, so now that you've gotten a look at my skin up close, I can get into my thoughts. I personally don't see myself reaching for this foundation very often in the future. I just don't really, I didn't hate it, but I didn't necessarily love it. Like I mentioned, it did wear off a little bit here along the cheek area. It did crease along my laugh lines there, which I didn't really care for. I could, you know, touch up throughout the day or just take my beauty blender with me and just like do one of these numbers in order to try to blend that out so that it's not an issue throughout the day. But realistically, who has time for that? I'm a busy mom. I'm not going to remember to take my beauty blender with me just to try to like rub that out. Other than that, I feel like it did give me a glossy T-zone. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning, I typically do get oily along the T-zone, but this product claimed to combat that in a way. Like we talked about, it said that it was going to prevent shine or provide moisture depending on your skin type, which it obviously didn't prevent any shine for me along that area. Along the cheeks, I can say that, you know, I didn't get excessively oily or anything like that, but I typically don't because the rest of my face tends to fall under the normal category for skin type. Other than that, the product didn't feel heavy on the skin throughout the day. I didn't really notice that I had a ton of foundation or 2 layers of foundation along the cheek area. But I just, for the price tag, the amount of product that you get, and the fact that it didn't really last throughout the day, it didn't really stay put throughout the day on my skin, just for those reasons, I really don't see myself reaching for this foundation as often as I would like. So those are my thoughts on the foundation, and thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video review and that you found it helpful. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.